Welcome to the Evolution of a Nice Guy podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Andre Blaylock. This series aims to document my transformation from the traditional nice guy to the bad boy your mama warned you about to where I am now, the center lane between the two. Now, this evolution didn't occur overnight. The process was wrought with pain, embarrassment, and misunderstanding, but the end result was personal awareness, accountability, and emotional maturity. I hope my journey will somehow connect with yours. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Evolution of a Nice Guy podcast. If it's your first time listening, I'm glad you're here. If not, welcome back. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that hits close to home for me, becoming the bad guy in relationships. The dark side is where bad boy butthole behavior resides. It's the place where I don't give up how women think I should behave. It's the national anthem. Now, I'm not proud of this, but it's important to share my story to help some of you who are making the same mistakes. Let's take a trip. In my late 20s, I was a jerk regarding relationships. Back then, I thought I was the man. I worked a decent job, had several homies, and enjoyed a single life. But there was a dark side to how I was handling my relationships. I remember this one particular woman. Let's call her Rory. Rory was funny, intelligent, beautiful, the whole package. We met at a friend's party, hit it off immediately, and started seeing each other casually. At first, it was all fun and games. We'd go see movies and have long talks. The chemistry was undeniable. But here's the thing. I also saw other women simultaneously and wasn't honest with Rory about it. I wasn't lying directly to her face. I made her feel like she was the only one, giving just enough attention to keep her interested, but never fully committing. I remember she wanted to spend the whole Saturday together, and I told her I had to work. In reality, I was going on a date with somebody else. I thought I was playing the field, but I was being incredibly unfair and selfish. Looking back, I see how much it must have hurt her.
We have a schedule to keep.
Oh, yeah. There were moments when she'd hint at wanting more from the relationship, asking me if I really liked her and where we were going. I dodged those questions like Neo in the Matrix, giving vague answers like, let's not rush things, Rory. I'm just enjoying our time together. Then there was the time when it all started to unravel. I had double booked myself one night, planning to see Rory early in the day and meet up with another woman that night because nighttime is the right time for romance and booty. I could pull it off, so I thought, but Rory found out. She showed up at the club where I was meeting the other woman. It was a disaster. I'll never forget the look on her face when she saw me with someone else. It was like she had been punched in the gut. Rory confronted me right there. She asked me straight to my face if I was seeing other people, and I was caught off guard. Both women were looking at me for answers that my brain was too slow to provide. I finally came clean. Rory walked out, tears streaming down her face, and I just stood there, feeling like the worst person in the world. The upside was the other woman decided to stay, so I could spin the story. If Rory had been less attractive than she was, she might have bounced too, but aesthetically, they were equally matched, so I was the one who appeared the most desirable. Keep your judgment and hostility. I told you I was a butthole. That moment was a wake-up call for me. I realized that my actions had real consequences, that I was hurting people I cared about. It wasn't just Rory. I thought about the other women I had strung along, making them believe that there could be more when I didn't intend to follow through with any of them. That night, I found myself staring into the mirror, dissecting the reflection staring back at me. It wasn't just a reflection of my physical self, but a stark representation of the person I had become. I couldn't deny it any longer. I was using women as a band-aid for my insecurities and ego. It was a harsh realization to face, but it wasn't harsh enough to make me change. Firstly, being taken for granted by women I was romantically interested in left me with a bitter taste in my mouth. I would shower them with attention and affection, only to be met with sarcasm or an expectation for more. The imbalance between effort and appreciation fueled my resentment, It's no wonder I fought the idea of being the nice guy again. Secondly, there was an undeniable allure to the power I experienced when I embraced a bad boy persona. There's an intoxication in knowing you can captivate someone through indifference. The feeling of being in control was addictive. It fed my ego in ways the nice guy narrative never could. Lastly, I couldn't shake the memories of self-abasement that characterized my former nice guy personality. I remembered countless times I had put someone else's happiness above mine, only to be left empty and unfulfilled. I liked the armor I had crafted as the bad boy, so despite the nagging voice urging me to change my ways, I continued my trek into the light of darkness. The playboy facade had become a shield, protecting me from the pain of rejection and the sting of vulnerability. Let me tell you another story. I was dealing with a girl named Erica, who was really into me, but I gave her the stiff arm treatment. One day she called bragging about an upcoming date with some dude later that night. She gushed about the fancy dinner at some upscale restaurant and the concert tickets he had splurged on. Maybe she was trying to make me jealous, but it didn't work. Erica said her plans were not set in stone and she would change them if I like her to, but I nudged her down the path she was currently on. She wasn't going to deflate my wallet. Throughout the night, Erica texted me with updates whenever he went to the bathroom. She talked about how lame he was and how she couldn't wait to see me again. She appreciated his planning and said he was nice, but didn't get her juices flowing. When he dropped her off at her apartment, I could almost picture the scene playing out. The forced smile she gave him, the obligatory church hug at the door, thanking him for the evening while dropping subtle hints about needing to rest for an early evening. It was a performance, a charade she played to keep up appearances while her true intentions simmered beneath the surface. My phone rang about 11:45. Erica asked if she could come see me. She would even bring the lobster and filet mignon plate her date paid for. Talk about trifling. 45 minutes later, her car pulled up outside my spot. As she bounded up the stairs to my door, she wasted no time dropping the charade, jumping straight into my arms as if no time had passed between us. We laughed and joked about her plans to keep the nice guy dangling on the line, toying with his emotions while she experienced pleasure in my arms. That guy used to be me. And from this vantage point, I started to form the perception that all women weren't The behavior I described in those stories would send sensible women running for the hills, right? Wrong. Play stupid games and win stupid prizes. You'd be surprised how many women stood in line to break bread with the bad boy. There's something mesmerizing about what you want that is just outside of your reach. But don't take my word for it. The next episode will feature a conversation with the woman habitually attracted to the men your mama warned you about. That should be fun. Until next time, peace.